Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's pretty decently warm today. I mean, it's not unbearable. Been outside all day, running a mower and doing some just outside work. So I mean, it's certainly hot and sweaty, but it's not the worst it's ever been. But a little above average for this time of the year for temperatures. So, my goodness, who knows what's going on? In the last 24 hours, 36 hours, everything indicated that in the next day or two, the United States was probably going to strike Iran, get involved in this. The White House came out today and said that the president is now saying that it could be up to 2 weeks, for Iran to potentially come to its senses and, in the White House's words, give up. It's not just denuclearization. That's like everything. They basically have to surrender. Israel's fired back and says, up to 2 weeks. Tomorrow is up to 2 weeks. So it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be 2 weeks. It means that it could be tomorrow. It could be 2 weeks from today. Who knows? It's so hard to figure out because, in the end, this is just an orchestrated game. That's all it is. I believe that. I could be wrong, but I feel that's pretty solid of what's going on, is that we're just watching this narrative play out in front of us. Because so many things don't make too much sense. But anyways, so who knows? Are we going to see America involvement? I still think so. Because here's the thing. I don't know how they would expect Iran to give in to this. I don't know how they expect Israel to accept anything but complete regime change and everything. And I'm not picking sides here at all. I'm trying to keep this neutral opinion on this. From Iran's perspective, they're probably thinking, hey, why would we give up our nukes now? Why would we stop doing that now? Because the very thing that we said the reason why we kind of need them has actually happened, right? Israel, I can't imagine Israel giving up too much because of the amount of damage that Iran has inflicted upon Israel. Now, they've done quite a bit. They're saying now that there's like 3,000 Israelis that are homeless because of all the buildings and apartments and stuff that's been destroyed. They've hit several government buildings and then also a hospital. So it would be really difficult for me to accept that both sides just randomly come to their senses and say, okay, we're gonna take our toys and go home. We're done with this. We will see. It could still happen. I get it. Vladimir Putin seems to be somewhat involved in possibly this, but we'll see. Now, there's another factor that's going on that doesn't seem to be getting a lot of news. I don't know why. Probably because it's part of the plan. It looks like that China has been sending stuff into Iran this whole time. There's been reports of Chinese cargo planes and 747s taking off in China and going to Tehran. And as they enter Iranian airspace, they turn their transponders off. What are they doing? Are they delivering weapons? Are they removing people out? Are they removing nuclear material out to a safe place? Are they bringing stuff in so that they can... Who knows? Who knows what's going on? There's reports in the news that China is growing, and a few other countries, but China is the big one, is growing very nervous about the possibility of regime change in Iran. They don't like that. Because China gets a lot of stuff, gets a lot of oil and gets a lot of natural gas from them. And so now all of that resource would be under Western control. So there's a whole lot of little pieces going on here. And I still think that the United States is going to get involved in this. I think that there's whatever struggle going on of what they should do. Maybe they're doing this, maybe because they need to buy a little bit more time for some reason. I don't know. But I mean, we will see. We'll see what happens. You know, like I said, if the White House were to accept something less than complete regime change and surrender from Iran, I don't see how Israel would accept that. But who knows? All right. So what are we doing about this? What are you doing about this? That's the big question, and not just about this, but all this other stuff. Are you, you know, just watching this stuff happen? Does it bother you? Does it worry you? Do you think nothing's going to happen? It's just going to blow over, and a few weeks from now, we're going to look back and say, well, you know, there was another thing that came and went. Are you actually putting effort into making yourself ready? Are you stocking up? Are you working towards self-sufficiency? Are you working towards community? I mean, if you already have it, if you already have like a mag or some kind of group of people of some sort, what are you guys doing? Are you talking more actively, more training, more going over plans? Because all these things I think you should be doing. I think you should be very proactive right now. It's not because I believe that the world's coming to an end or anything like that. That's not even what I'm implying. But I think that things are progressing. And as we see more of these events like this with Iran and other things like that, even if they don't end up being some kind of big apocalyptic level disaster, just the fact that they're happening and how the chess pieces are being moved should send warning bells up for you that that the motion of and the progression and the momentum of this takeover, this new system that's being developed behind the scenes, it should indicate that that's moving along pretty fast, because they're doing a whole lot to prepare for it. They're doing a whole lot to distract you from it. They're doing a whole lot to cause the chaos and the confusion and the destruction that is needed to usher in this new era. And so if it's nothing else than that, that should be a reason for you to be actively really working towards getting yourself self-sufficient and stocking up on the things, you know, going over your plans. For those of you that feel like you're pretty fairly well, you know, prepped up, you need to be going through your stuff, making sure it's ready to go, your vehicle's ready to go, your tools, your weapons, your food, everything, your team, your mag. That's what they should be doing, you know, testing your communications, going over those plans. It's not because we're necessarily on the cusp of the apocalypse. It's because all of these events, whether they're going to end up being really bad or they end up kind of phasing out into the next big disaster, it doesn't matter. All of these events are indicative of the progression of what we're really getting ready for. And so, you know, this thing with Iran, goodness, who knows? There's been so much flip-flopping back and forth, extend this, maybe a little bit more of this, we're going to do this, we're not going to do this, it's all over the board. And we don't know how much of it's true or not. But regardless of whether it's true or not, just the fact that they're pushing so much confusion and chaos right now, again, should be the thing that causes you to step up the pace, right? Because they're making a whole lot of noise. And if it's for nothing or if it's for something, they're still making a whole lot of noise. And you need to get ready. And, you know, here's another thing. How much other stuff has been going on? I have actually had some difficult times in the last few days, probably in the last 3 or 4, of trying to find news on other things. Not that there's no other news, but I mean, like, you know, AI stuff, Palantir stuff, all this other things that are these things that are going on. It's been difficult trying to fight it because the news cycle, whether it's mainstream, social media, secondary, independent, it doesn't matter. It's all so heavily focused on this. And because there's so much intense energy being focused on what's going on with this, that kind of tells me. I mean, look at the infighting that's happening online. You've got all of these, GOP, MAGA, conservative people that are just, they're ready to beat each other up. I mean, one of them the other day posted that they needed to be dealt with, that they, needed to be rounded up, or they need to be dealt with and punished because they're MAGA people that are speaking out against the president. It's craziness. There's just craziness happening. And when we get into these places where it's this kind of crazy, this kind of chaotic, to me, I'm just sitting here thinking, man, something big is going on. Something's happening. I may not be able to put my finger on it, but I know that something's happening. And so all that tells me is would it be nice to know exactly what's going on? Of course. But I don't have to know what's going on to be able to recognize that things are happening and I need to get myself ready. You, your family, your MAG, your team, whatever. You need to get things moving. You should be having communications on a regular basis, meeting, training, going over things, planning, because there's a lot, looking out the next few days, the next few weeks, the next 6 months. I mean, my goodness, that seems so far away. A lot of things can happen, and I'm pretty sure a lot of things will. You need to get your houses in order, folks. You should be preparing yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.